One.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our psychology final. Um, my final is named Establishing Family Bonds, the Importance of Love and Boundaries While Raising Children. I decided to choose this topic first and foremost because as a mother, I find it important to establish a love relationship with my children, an affectionate relationship with them. But it is also extremely important to set boundaries, limits, and have discipline within the home, especially when it comes to assigning tasks to the children, to trying to teach them biblical foundations, trying to teach them how to behave with friends. Pretty much in every aspect, we find that it's important to set these boundaries. Um, in my research, I decided to test both two participants, one age 6, one age 9, in a total of a 4-week period. The first 2 weeks were the children were assigned tasks at various times of the day, 3 tasks a day, and there was an overpouring of love and affection that came along within the task, and that was for 2 weeks. The second 2 weeks of the study was the same tasks assigned to the children, yet there was no affectionate component to the assignment of the tasks. So the research part was to try and define the differences between the two-week sessions with the responses of the children. And interestingly, even my own responses and responses of the other people within the home. And on one occasion, the response of a third child that was in the that was visiting at the time. The one aspect that I can definitely say that I saw within the children in the first 2 weeks, when the abundance of affectionate and touch and positive reinforcement words was present, was that the children were more responsive to the tasks that they were assigned. There was less confusion, there was less moodiness, there was less fighting of them trying to get out of doing the task. Versus the second part of the study, which is the other 2 weeks, when that affectionate component was removed. I saw a change in the children. Also, interestingly, was the more pronounced distinctions between the smaller child. The older child seemed to be able to adjust better, seemed to be able to respond better, seemed to kind of understand a little bit more maybe what was going on, that there was either an overstimulation or an understimulation, versus the smaller child, which seemed to be more, his feelings and emotions seemed to dictate more his behavior. So it was a little bit difficult to kind of gauge him most of the time. Also, the times of the day really did have a major effect on whether the children were complacent or not. One Bible verse that I decided to attach to my research, or that I found interesting, was one in Proverbs 22:6, which states, children start children off in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not turn from it. I chose this Bible verse because I think it's strategic and it's basic in the instruction of children. If we teach them at a young age through love and reinforcement, positive words, and even getting down to their level and helping them through their difficulties, through their chores, through their tasks, and the things that they go through as well, we do see that the children respond more favorably. They might take a little bit, but we have a better outcome in the end when we come alongside them, versus when we do harsh parenting, or leave them to do the tasks on their own, or there's no positive or affectionate love or reinforcement. So that was one thing that I definitely saw within the research, within the study periods that we had with the children. There are several articles that do corroborate this results, that parenting behavior, positive parenting behavior, does produce positive behavior in the children. So that was found in most of the research that I did alongside this study. There was a reward system implemented. It didn't change much the behaviors of the children in the end. The positive affectionate reinforcement and the communication that I had with them was more created more positive results than a reward system. And even when the third child was present, he responded well. And in the end, I think he didn't even want the reward. He just did the task. He had no problem doing it. But he responded gracefully as well. So yes, in conclusion, I will say that as far as research that I have read, that I have studied, what the Bible tells us about the boundaries and love in the home with the children, we definitely can see that in those early critical years, children are very responsive to tone of voice, words, touch, and rewarding mechanisms. So most of the time the children don't need much instruction. They know the task they need to do. But when it's accompanied by positive behavior, by positive touch, by positive words, they do react more favorably. So in the end, as I've said, having that love and boundary, respect aspect with the children is definitely positive. One last thing as I close, I was reading an article on Focus on the Family where the findings that I had were consistent, and it reads, where maturity and discipline along with respect, security, and enjoyment are all beneficial in guiding children into a home life where love and boundaries are appreciated and followed. So once again, this is research that is available, and it does corroborate my findings. Thank you very much.